All right, all right, all right. GM, everyone. Let me get Simple Farmer up here, consider my co-host or MIA. But anyways, GM, everyone, welcome in to Reality Check. Make sure you repost the room, share the space, live on Abstract, X, Kick, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere and anywhere that you want to be. You can watch us. You can listen in. I think I'm gonna get Simple Farmer. Simple Farmer, you're gonna come up. Are you coming on stream or no?
Oh, I can do so for sure, but then I may have to leave the spaces, whatever your preference is, sir.
Whichever way. I mean, they don't have, if you're on mobile and you want to watch what's going on stream, all you have to do, and I'll pin the live stream link at the top, but you can stay in the space and watch the live stream right from your cell phone. All you have to do is just drop it down, and that'll be that. We discovered that yesterday. So we're live on X. We're live everywhere. So, but I'm going to be showcasing, showing off, showing the website, going over a lot of things that we're going to be talking about and discovering today, going on with clutch markets, pixel pups. There's a lot going on there because, I remember Captain was, you were on Captain stage a lot. He was talking about it a lot, but I never really dove into it. I think because I was just so busy with so much other shit at the time that, I just got sidetracked. And then the next thing I know, Mint happened. Everything went wild. TMA was tweeting about it like crazy. Everybody was, and then things just kind of mooned up from there. So, I'm glad you reached out wanting to come into the show and explain a lot of stuff. I know Kyle will be here momentarily. He had a pump go out in his house, and he is trying to get that situated with some emergency things going on over at his place. So hopefully Kyle will be joining us soon. Kenny is off golfing. He went on some, I don't know what he's doing. Apparently now this guy is a true believer in the Lord. Praise Jesus to Kenny, but he went to a charity golf thing at some church. I don't even know what it was. Like, it's not even his religion. It's not whatever, but hey, whatever, go play some golf, bro. I would probably do the same thing. So, but anyways, Brad, GM bro, how you doing?
GM gang, not too bad. Just hanging with the kiddo for a little bit this morning. Did some research for the bucket thing this morning. We went 2-0 yesterday. Both picks, hit yesterday. So looking good with the new algo, and just kind of wait. All the games today are late games, bro, which drives me crazy. I sit around like pacing all day waiting for the first game to start.
Yeah. I had to lay low off of any games, whatever. I got cleaned up. Like I said, I got cleaned. That one day, that one game with fucking with the Dodgers just completely wrecked me. And it took everything from me. But hey, if that guy's fucking if his BS little poly market volume airdrop predictors right, I'll be doing all right, Brad.
Bro. I hope so.
Nowhere near as good as you, but I'll be doing all right. I'm gonna send Simple Farmer over this link. So if you do want to come in, just jump in on that link, Simple Farmer, and then just stay muted on StreamYard, and you can just talk right here through Spaces. So, normally we would kind of cover a bunch of market stuff, dive in all that. But guess what? Kenny's not here. We're not covering the market. If you want to know the price of Bitcoin, I'm sure you've been watching it. If you want to know the price of ETH, go look. You can find it. We're not back up. We're not back yet. NFTs, man. I mean, NFTs in general, just, they're having such a great run. So I am excited for that. The Sunday space with Loki was great. Great turnout as always, with great founders on stage having some pretty real conversations. So we do have consensus this week. Brett, are you going or no? You decided to stay home?
Nah, I'm chilling home. I didn't feel like going out to Miami. I've already been in Miami this year. I don't want, dude. And then I have to be back there again for December. Like, I try to limit my time in Miami.
Oh, Miami's not that bad, bro.
Oh, it just gets expensive quick before you even know. Like, all of a sudden, it's just, it gets crazy. So,
I can get it from that side, but Well, you just need to find a brand or a company that will, sponsor your whole trip. That's how
I
you do
tried,
it.
bro. I was like, yo, what stages do you need speakers on? Do you need people checking tickets at doors? I don't give a shit. Just somebody fly me out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough, man, trying to get people to pay for shit and money. And it's tough. And then you got to be a value add. Like what value, if I said, hey, Brett, I want you to fly out for a reality check and do whatever. And I'm giving you fucking $1,000. That's all I'm giving you, bro. I'll cover your plane ticket and a Twinkie. But it's hard, man. It's hard.
I mean, you get what you pay for. The vibes will be
Oh, okay.
immaculate, but the effort would be very low at that point.
Oh my God. So if I gave you 10 grand, you'd be out there fucking, y'all ever heard of reality check? It's the
Oh,
best
dude,
business
I'd be
in the
like
world.
doing those stupid TikTok street interviews for you, bro, all day.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. Yeah. GM Salamander, how are we? How we doing?
I'm good. I put a thumbs down to NFTs. I just wanted to see, well, first off, I wanted to see if anyone was going to say anything. Nobody said anything. Nobody was like, "Oh, Sal, what a little piece of shit." So I'm having a good time.
Just because cardboard's having like a glorious run right now doesn't mean it's gonna stay there. It's gonna pop.
Hell no. I am. You know what? Actually, Big Nil and Andrew S. Howe were like, I think they were chatting about it, but basically, like yesterday, they made a post and like they were talking in their conversation. And Big Nil was like, I think there needs to be like one. Actually, this is a good conversation. I think there needs to be like a person that represents like Web3, right? And I'm like, I don't know. I actually feel like it comes down to like liquidity because like there's actually a lot right now. Like if you don't think projects are making money, they're making money. They're making a lot of money, but it's just everywhere, right? But when NFTs and flipping shit for 1 ETH, bring that shit back.
Hey,
bring that shit back.
If you were lucky enough to get the what was that? The gift of time. The gift of time. We had a guy that comes up here on stage all the time, Wheels on the Bus. He grabbed like I think 3 of those at 0.05.
Damn.
Then he turned around and sold them at 0.12.
Oh my
for
God.
a 2x. And one of them he had was the nighttime one, which was like 2 to 3x the floor. It was wild. The guy,
oh my God.
Yeah, but he's not hurting. I mean, the guy's literally on his way to Hawaii for a fucking like 2-week vacation. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, you just have to, like, you just gotta be either early or just very random. Do you guys remember Digidagaku? Like, that was so fucking random.
Yeah.
I believe that shit was free too.
It was. Like there was, I think it was about a year and a half ago, maybe it was a year ago, the Supermon, the Pokemon NFTs. Do you remember seeing those? The art pieces?
Yeah. I remember that.
Yes.
I remember a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Well, Adam Hollander tweeted about those. And for those of you who've been in NFTs for a long time, Adam Hollander used to just tweet something and all of a sudden it would just, 100x. And it was wild. So I seen him tweet these. I was in VC and I'm like, yo, what do y'all think about these? And they were like, yeah, these are ugly. Like I can't even see a Pokemon in these. And I'm like, well, Adam Hollander usually is pretty locked in. I'm buying 4 of these. I bought 4. I should have bought, I bought them like at 0.01, 0.02 ETH. And they ran up to like 2-3 ETH. And by the time I sold, it was like 1.5 because I was like, oh my God, these are the next Fidenzas. These are going to 25 ETH. Like, you get caught in the hype, and I still made an insane amount of money. But I mean, I think we're going to see it. You just got to keep paying attention, and you got to be on point.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I said? And
there's Wheels there. He's probably crying. Here he is. Yeah. This guy must have been an anonymous listening to us.
Where's Wheels? Okay. I'm actually going to
up.
follow him because his name is just so fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And look
like
at
Wheels
this
on the
weird
Bus.
Bad Bun. Yeah. Look at that.
But one thing I was going to say is like for something to come back, I think it has to not make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck were we doing in 2021? I don't know. I'll scroll on TikTok watching that shit. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. Just bring it back, bring it back.
Yeah, it seems like it's coming. The projects that are doing great right now, the brands that are doing great right now are the founders that are showing up and the founders that are publicly building. They're in spaces. They're here like Simple Farmer. Like I didn't reach out to him. I had been wanting to, But like, this is a founder in my DM saying, "Hey, can I come talk on your show?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go." And I told Kyle about it, and he was excited. And he's like, "Man, I'm glad I'm going to be there." And guess what? Kyle's not here because his well pump blew up. So but we're going to dive into everything with Simple Farmer here in just a few minutes. Wheels, how are we feeling, sir? Are you? I mean, can't be feeling too bad. You have the Hawaiian sun beating down on your face. Like, what's going on with you? Wheels, unmute. This guy.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Sorry. I was talking to my brother, dude. I'm out here in Maui. I'm at the
Man,
beach.
holy shit. Wow.
And-
That trip could have been a lot cheaper if you would have just held your bags.
He's like, no
Yeah.
problem. I'm in Bali.
I know.
I know, man. Tell me about it. Yeah, those paper handed. That's what I do, though. That's kind of my MO.
Yeah, I went
Right,
back
I
and
could've-
looked at the one that you had the nighttime one, and that guy was still holding it, man. And that floor, those things were trading above 2 ETH, and I was like, that guy's an idiot. And yeah,
Well, the other one. So I purposely picked that one out when I bought it, right? And then I picked another one, a circular one, which is also another. It seemed like a desirable trade, right? So anytime I go buy something like that, I try to find desirable trades. And I had those too, and the thesis is right, but it just I wasn't patient enough, and if I had waited one more day, I would have been traveling, and I would have just came home, kind of checked into 25, 30x. I don't even know what it would have been, but
it was
hey,
wild.
fucking you.
Bro. Yeah, it was wild. Everybody was tweeting about it. But I mean, you still made money, not as much money as you could have, but I mean, how often though was this gift? Was this one? This was Art Blocks, right? Or was this just an actual?
It was Art Blocks, and you see like OpenSea posting it.
Yeah,
It just seems like the overall appetite for NFTs has increased, and that's when these small collection sizes kind of pop up.
But the other
hey,
side
I
of this, bro, do you understand how many projects mint on Art Blocks that don't do this? Like fucking hundreds, thousands. Like, so it's not just Art Blocks, because I've minted shit on Art Blocks and it's not done anything. So
yeah, hey, I'm so sorry. I gotta jump.
All right, bro. Yeah, have fun in the fucking Hawaii. Whatever. We don't mean to fucking slow that down. Yeah, we'll catch up later in back channels. All right, let's say GM to Big Rug real quick, and then we're gonna dive into everything going on in Simple Farmer's world. Big Rug, what's happening, bro?
What up? What up? I'm just coming to listen, man. I forgot the Simple Farmer was coming on. I'm ready though.
Yeah, let's get it. For those of you that are not watching, we are live on stream as well. Simple Farmers here with me on stream. We are live on X. The very first pinned tweet does have the link for the stream, so you don't have to leave the space. If you want to, whatever's easier for you. We are live on Abstract. I'm live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live everywhere. So you have no excuse not to be able to see what we're doing. And Simple Farmer, if you want, like I said, just unmute here on X, and then if you want to share your screen for anything that you're wanting to run through, please just add it up there, and we'll do it. But I have the website pulled up now, but anyways, let's dive into it. Do you want to kind of give some a brief background on who you are and your time here in the space, man?
Yeah, and just to confirm, this audio is good coming through X right now?
Everything's great. Yeah. If anybody in any of the chats are having any audio issues, let me know if you cannot hear Simple Farmer, but I think we're good.
Yeah, and first of all, Jesus, thank you for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan, actually, of a lot of things that the Abstract ecosystem does really well, like the streaming features. I'm a big fan of the Bearish collection and how they use the 404 model. My background is in DeFi. That's 100% my origins, specifically starting with Off-Chain Labs and Arbitrum One. And then later I started working for ApeCo and ApeChain as a head of DeFi. And then I was just within their dedicated builder program. And now I am fully independent, working on Clutch Markets and expanding our functionalities. And we built a couple things. We started out really early experimenting with prediction markets. After Polymarket, we were one of the first prediction markets. And what we did, and I know you guys were talking about Polymarket earlier, is we took odds from Polymarket and we fed it into a D app where we converted those odds into multipliers, kind of like you would have in like a sports book, like a FanDuel or a DraftKings. And then we let people create parlays or multi-leg bets on Polymarket predictions with those odds updating in real time. And so each one of those bets was actually an NFT. And so that NFT was tradable. And so that platform got a lot of traction, had a lot of success. That's something we're bringing back soon, but we wanted to work out and see what the legal around it would be. We want to make sure we're implementing this decentralized house model in the correct way and improve the UI UX experience. After that, the main big thing that's happened recently is we did this free mint of a collection called Pixel Pups to kind of prove the concept of the Anvil AMM. And so the Anvil AMM is a different take on fractionalized NFTs. It's not a 404 concept, but rather it's a system that's permissionless where anybody can come in and actually launch a set of contracts for their NFT collection that gives them a full utility suite based around an ERC20 token. And so we've had 9 collections deployed so far. And, you know, the headliner here being the Pixel Pups collection, which was that free mint on ETH about 40 days ago. It was so successful, you know, that I decided to go and get the art redone and upgraded. You know,
I was wondering what that was because I remembered seeing a post somewhere about the art upgrade. I'm like, hold on, didn't this just mint? Like,
yeah.
You know, but it was very, very hyped on the timeline.
Well, you know, in crypto, you never know what's going to hit and not, right? And so with Clutch Labs, we're throwing a lot of darts. You know, we're building a lot of things. And so when we have something hit, we're going to run with it. And so that's what I chose to do with Pixel Pups. They're attached to what's called the K9 token. And so if you click on that actual market there, I can walk through some of the functionality. And so this is cool because any collection can plug this in. And, you know, speaking to somebody who's participating actively in the Abstract ecosystem, it's something that I would love to bring to Abstract when they potentially do, if the teams there are interested in doing so. Because the thought for me originally was, how can I create a mechanism where a chain, especially like these L2s or independent L1s, can go from just being based around NFTs and collectors and convert that into volume, trading across tokens and ERC20s as well, making these NFTs way more liquid. And so, you know, we wanted to launch Pixel Pups and K9 as a proof of concept. And, you know, everybody was really into it. So then I'm like, okay, I'll give this to everybody and we'll funnel just that deployment fee back into K9 to give it that utility. And so here you can see where you can actually, you know, purchase just the K9 token and swap between the token and the NFT or between the NFT and the token. And there's a fee associated with that. That fee gets forwarded to what you see there called the kennel. And so the kennel allows you to actually stake those NFTs and reap a portion of those rewards. So it's bringing instant utility to the collection. You can see we have 543 staked and we have another 213 in the pool. So what has actually happened is around 70% of our collection is not actively trading on secondary on OpenSea.
That's wild. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's really positive for price action of NFTs as well in that way. And then, you know, it's on us to continue to build out utility for this token, for this K9 token. And we got a couple cards to play, including what I talked about earlier, that Polymarket Parlay platform.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing some cool stuff too. We're going to make that token tradable on Solana in the near future. But before I get to that, just to walk through the additional functionalities here.
Well, so as of right now, if you have a Pixel Pup, you can stake it. And then when you're staking it, you're going to be earning part of that 2.5% fee for every trade that's done on Clutch. Will go back to you, and it's split up, I guess, obviously by just the staked NFTs, not the ones that are in the pool as well, right? Or is that?
That's correct.
Okay, because what do the pool NFTs do?
So they're just NFTs that somebody has chosen to deposit to get out tokens.
Oh, okay.
Essentially.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's just a liquidity pool of NFTs. Okay.
Right.
All right.
It's an NFT AMM, and then if you go to swap, people can just have the next one that's in line, or they can adopt the pup.
Yeah.
Or snipe a specific one that they like from the pool.
And how many tokens require that for the swap to happen?
So for the swap, there's an additional 2.5% fee, but for the specific one where you pick a specific one from the pool, it's 4.5%.
Okay. But how much token do you have to, like, how much tokens tied to each NFT?
1 million.
Okay. Yeah, because it's the same thing with Bearish. Like Bearish, I can have 10,001 Burr token. And if I don't like the bear that I get, I just sell a little bit of token and then buy it back and then just keep re-rolling. But here, I like this one because you're actually, bumping that fee up where if you want to go in and pick a particular. Now, is there ever a chance there's like a really rare pup in there?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay a premium for like one-on-ones or anything? Or like, I mean,
Well,
obviously not one-on-ones, but
sometimes it happens naturally, right? Like somebody will sell a rare one into the floor, and that person in the floor who's buying the floor is really just trying to make that arbitrage difference between the token and the NFT. So they just drop it into the pool. So yeah, people race to grab the ones that are unique or a higher rarity in there.
yeah.
But I think it's a great feature, like you mentioned, to have for people who are buying floor NFTs, just like with Bearish. It's like, hey, I want a different NFT. I'll pay that fee difference. It adds that layer of gamification. And for us, it's important, right? Because we're going to also make K9 tradable on Solana. And we're adding extra LP there. And so now when this user buys on Solana, this token, they ask, what can I do with my token? I mean, this is a major utility, in my opinion. It's like adopt a pup.
Yeah. Now, and like I said, I mean, that if you can get people to start doing that, or even if they just continue to do that, I mean, that difference in 2% adds up to be pretty big over time. And I think I seen somewhere where the APR was like 19%.
Right. Yeah. In the
for
last
staking.
in the last 7 days, 100 swaps have been done between the token and pups.
Okay. But so now when you talk about these other markets that are going to be coming back, is that going to be only beneficial for Pixel Pup holders, or is that going to be because I also want to go back to all these other collections that were here.
Sure.
And how much, because I see APR 16%, 2.7%. Like what determines the amount of APR that these certain markets are getting? Like what determines that?
It depends on how much swapping is happening between the token and the NFT.
Okay. So
Yeah, but this is not for the K9 token. All of these other collections, they have their own token.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So because I see Ape Chain, ETH. So like, is your big goal to have brands from other chains? Like you mentioned Abstract. I know you were talking about Solana just a few seconds ago, but like bringing NFTs in that have their own token. You don't give a damn about that. Like you want them to have their own token, and this is just giving their holders another way to have more utility for not only the NFT but also the token itself. Because
right, yeah,
most founders can't figure out how to give utility.
Well, and it's fully permissionless. So if you scroll to the top and you just click deploy your collection, and so here you can see it's really simple actually. So you just type in your contract address, you type in what you want your token to be named, the symbol, you can even add a logo, and you set the parameters for your AMM. So what the fees are between the swapping between the NFT and the token. There is a deployment fee. That's where the K9 holders benefit, is that moment when the collections deploy, we take that deployment fee and we buy back K9 token.
Now, can someone, if they don't have a token yet, can they create a token here as well through the same process?
So, when they deploy here, they get a token. They get 6 smart contracts for their collection.
Okay. So like Bear couldn't bring the actual Burr token into this, right? It would have to be its own token.
It would have to be custom. Yeah, it would have to be a custom solution. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we're on the same page. Now I'm picking it up. But bro, this is like a pump fund for NFTs and prediction markets.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like this. And now, what are you doing though to vet the projects that are coming into this? Because, like, do you see a world where people are going to be trying to, game this in any way, or like, what are you doing there? Is there like an application? Obviously, there's not an application process because I could just spin something up and do this.
So I give them the verified badge if I see it's the collection owner that has deployed, or if it's a CTO, if it's a confirmed CTO.
Okay.
I'll list them. I'll give them a verified badge. And so that is like a higher level of trust, but there's still no guarantee with any of these other NFT collections. Like it's on them in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's on those communities to cook, right? Independent, and they have their token too, and they have their NFT collection. They get this utility, but they're also going to be able to add additional utility to their token independently if they want to. And I'm going to layer in more experiences here, and those experiences are going to be plug and play for all the tokens that deploy via Anvil.
Will that be something that they can go back and do even if they've already deployed? They can plug those things in, like with these other markets coming back. So for instance, if I wanted to say, hey, you know what, I'm doing 1,000-piece NFT collection for Reality Check. It's going to be a free mint, and then I launch the collection. There's no way for me to launch a collection here and generate art, right? Like you're not launching the full NFT here.
Right. Not yet. We don't have that mint of the NFT process yet. This is something that we're potentially thinking about down the line. Right now, the focus is around giving that utility to collections. But if a collection is minting on OpenSea, for example, they can actually start up the Anvil for their collection prior to the mint. So it can pair. And that's nice because otherwise, if a collection already has a pretty high market cap, they need to provide LP for that token to have any value, especially to the sell side. If they can get in on like a free mint and deploy the token with the collection at the same time, that's what we did with Pixel Pups. We only had to add 2 ETH worth of liquidity, and now we have like almost 9 ETH or 10 ETH worth of liquidity total supporting the collection via the token.
Oh, wow.
Because they grew in congruence from the mint.
Yeah. So right here, as I'm going through this, and then I'm assuming these are the next steps, the economics, the confirm, get tokens, liquidity. I've got to provide and do all these things through the steps of deploying all of this. Realistically, if somebody was going to do this, how much liquidity would you suggest they have to fire, to launch? Like if I wanted to do this for Reality Check, like how much liquidity do you think, one would need for that?
So I recommended 10% liquidity to market cap ratio. And so that depends on what your floor is for your NFT.
Okay.
Multiplied by the collection size.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we won't do 1,000. Maybe we do 100 NFTs and then keep it small. Cause unless it's free, what are people going to buy for? And that's the biggest thing though, is like, okay, well, here, I'm going to launch this collection, but we're going to run it through Anvil and we're going to be in clutch markets. It's going through OpenSea, but what other utility is there? And that's up to the team. But if you guys are going to have a lot of plug and play utility there, at what point does the utility that you're giving these teams, is there additional fees to add more thing? Like look a year down the road and you guys add 10 other features that could bring utility to someone's NFT collection. Well, you're not going to be doing that for free. There has to be some fees baked in there on each edition, right?
Most likely those fees will be either like a really small transaction based. So for example, if we have like the Parlay platform, the fee could exist within the staking feature. So I like to build things that have a decentralized house model. And so say, you have your token, let's call it the Reality Check token, and you want to plug it into our DPP, which is that Parlay platform I was talking about earlier. That fee structure would exist when people go to place a bet, or when people, essentially play around, while your community would benefit from being able to stake in that platform. And the way the decentralized house works is the stakers pay out the winners and they earn revenue from the losers.
Oh, wow. So they would be able to use the Reality Check token to make these predictions, to do all these things. They're not tied down to the K9 token or any other. Now, can they also just still use ETH or anything like that as well?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
All right. Bro, that's pretty dope. I do like this. Now you're going to have people asking me, when are we going to mint an NFT collection? So the deploy cost is a half an ETH, plus you're going to need your liquidity to launch.
Right.
And then obviously, in today's, like, do you think 10K market, like 10K PFP collections, do you think that's the vibe anymore? You think it's 5K or less, or 3K? Like, what is your take there?
Well, my estimates are that we probably have less than 4,000 users in total. in NFTs, active users currently. So it depends, right? You can have 10K NFT collections, but more than likely your holders will have 10 to 20 NFTs each, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Rather than having one or two. Our Pixel Pups collection is 1,123 for that specific reason.
Yeah.
I think that is like, I would love to get to the point where it's like 1,123 NFTs and it's like 1,000 community members. That would be really cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then you're looking at like OG CyberKong prices where they're 150 ETH because they're so coveted, and nobody sells them. And that's what happened early on with like CyberKongs, because banana token was worth so much, and there was no utility for it. It was just that was an OG project. But what you're doing here is providing way more utility, and it's around things that people want to what people want to do is predict, which is pretty good. Jed, I see you came up. Did you have some questions about something we had already talked about? I didn't want to get too far away.
Not really questions. I just want to kind of chime in and say that if this to me is just like whatever for collections that have already launched, this is like an added utility. It shouldn't be like your focus. And number two is if you do implement this, you do have to realize that you're taking on another product. So you don't have to only build for the NFT. You have to build for the token as well. But if you watch Simple how he moves, and the dude, I call him Amazon because he ships faster than Prime. If he's going to have other ways to use, native tokens like for each collection, not just K9. I mean, he's basically giving you syncs, and that's what a lot of these tokens don't have when they launch, is they don't have any syncs. That's a big problem I see. So, I mean, if you're collecting the token, whether you burn it, you can make it deflationary, whatever it is. I don't know. I love this. I love the idea of a NFT pegged to a token. I know a lot of people, they try to compare it to a 404. There's nothing really like this right now. Strategy tokens are not really linked to the collections at all. Plus, these are, I think, ERC20s, which means they can be listed on centralized exchanges. So long play. If one of these tokens goes running, maybe a year, 2 years down the line, it would wake up a lot of crypto people, because I'm not this big, we got to get the normies in guy. I'm more like, we got to get more crypto people in. There's millions of people in crypto that don't touch NFTs. And if we could get some of the DeFi people in here, we could see a bunch of liquidity pour into the space.
Yeah, and Jesus, that is one of the main theses here for me is that I've been observing NFTs as a person that was external to NFTs. I have a few now. I'm gonna get a bearish for sure after this. I have a GVC, I have a Regens, I have a Pudgy, obviously Pixel Pups. And my thought is that one of our issues is that we have like a massive discrepancy. We have the best communities in crypto are NFT projects, but they're not the highest market cap. They're not where the majority of liquidity is. The majority of liquidity still lies within tokens, and meme coins, for example, strongly are outperforming NFTs in terms of net liquidity. The reason being is because meme coins are very much set up to explode, especially on if you look at Solana. So they have a great trading ecosystem. And as soon as the token starts running, they get picked up by centralized exchanges like Moonshot, and then it does another 10, 20x, right? And then those tokens are inherently extremely liquid. So they can hold up for a longer period of time than like an NFT collection, which the liquidity is mostly just based in the floor bids. So my thought process here is that we could have the first NFTs listed on centralized exchanges, like a Binance, a Bitmart, whatever, Gate.io. That would be super cool. I think those collections would absolutely take off due to their token. Now, the Anvil is right now aggregating what I would call a lot of, maybe not smaller communities, but this is not the BAYC, this is not Pudgies, right? It's not CryptoPunks. But what we're kind of building is a swarm. It's a swarm of collectors who are aggregating in one place to use their tokens utility and their NFT. And I believe that swarm as a whole can at least encompass the size of one of these giga collections that we have, and really break some of these barriers that we've been facing in NFTs.
Do you think there's going to be a collection that surpasses Pixel Pups?
I hope so. I mean, I hope as many do well as possible. I think the best case scenario is that we have a collection run to 100 mil market cap, because that would actually prop up everybody would start speculating on all the other ones, right?
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, 100% it will. Now back to you said there was the other NFT that was with the markets prior. What was that collection called? Because Kyle was saying he said he had one of your NFTs at one point, and I don't know what it was.
Yeah, so originally on Ape Chain for that Parlay platform, we had an NFT collection called the Clutch Puppies, and so all the Clutch Puppies holders were allocated Pixel Pups essentially. So they were, given this new collection that has a significantly higher market cap and value. Um, and the way that was set up is that the staking pool for the Parlay platform, the amount of Ape coin, because it was on Ape Chain, they could stake was dependent on how many of those NFTs they held. And so what we're doing with that collection is that's going to become our companion collection, and it's going to be a burn to mint feature. So just full transparency, I think the place where I have lagged the most hasn't been in utility. I think I've done a pretty solid job in utility. It's mostly been in art. And so now I'm finally connecting with some of the great artists in our space and having art upgraded essentially. And I'm doing the same thing for Clutch Puppies, and those will be our companion collection on it.
Okay. Yeah, because do you ever see, because you have the Clutch Puppies, you said they're going to be the companion, Pixel Pups being the main. Do you ever see the Pixel Pups themselves, though, having another collection on top of that? Like another, I don't know, another breed? I mean, with there being such a small collection, and if nobody ever unstakes and they're just sitting there collecting rewards and whatnot, I mean, that would be a very, very exclusive club to join. Do you ever see where you're going to open that up more?
Yeah, so I think that companion collection will be our lower entry point, the kind of the way that Corklings are for Corkies.
Yeah.
And so what I'm not 100% locked in on this. This is potentially some alpha. So we saw a really good instance of what happens when you force pairings of new launches and mints with a token with some of the AI developments that happened on that happened on base essentially with virtuals. And what I want to do potentially with the Clutch Puppies collection is if they do get their own token, that token will be exclusively paired with the K9 token so that any pump or volume on that collection actually pushes benefit into the K9 token as well. So all of these actions are going to aggregate into propelling forward the Pixel Pups and K9 collection.
That's pretty smart. Tie them both together like that. I'm looking at the roadmap right now, and are we right here where this anvil is? Because what is Whitelist Wizard? What is this?
Yeah, and we're a little farther ahead. We're at the 3D art.
Are we? Okay. I see that there. Yeah.
So the
Amazon, bro.
Wizard,
Amazon.
So the Whitelist Wizard was a tool I made because I noticed like when we did the free mint, I started to get on my timeline was all minters, right? Mint people.
Yeah.
And people were struggling with making whitelist. And so I was like, I'll give them what I used for the Pixel Pups whitelist after, the Clutch Puppies allocation, which was I aggregated wallets that are not flippers. So I took wallets from NFT collections like, BAYC, CryptoPunks, etc. And I gave them a ranking from 1 to 10 based on their wallet behavior. And so 10 is like Diamond Hands. That's like Adam Weitzman, right? He never sells anything. He's a 10. People who flip every single mint they get like a 1. And so then with the Whitelist Wizard, if you wanted to make a whitelist for your mint, you could filter by wallets that are rated 7 to 10 that hold these respective collections.
Is that something that if anybody's started a new project, they could use that tool?
Yeah, and it costs like $1 worth of K9 to get that list.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't see it anywhere in there on the site. Is that going to be in like the deploy section when you start going? Because if nobody knows about it,
it's near the bottom of the site, so it is there. I do think I have so many products, right? And so I need to do a job of creating like a centralized dashboard with these products, but at the same time, I don't want to steer attention away from the people who've paid these deployment fees to put their collections into the Anvil as well.
Yeah, I got to it right here. Build the perfect whitelist, rate wallet, create perfect whitelist. So even if you're not even using the platform, you can still go in and use the service. It's just a matter of because the rate wallet is 10 K9 and the perfect whitelist is 10,000 K9. But that's a useful tool. Like if that's not even if someone's like halfway through the build, like that should like be somewhere where it like steers them into that, you know.
For sure. For new mints, I agree.
Yeah. Because it's you know, it's just that's a good tool, and I didn't know anything about it. Jed, you got a question, sir?
Yeah, I'm going to keep Baldwin simple about this until he does it. But I want to repurpose that tool for pre-existing collections because if you're a good founder and you're looking to onboard new people, I want access to that information. Like I want to know who I want to go after in certain collections, and I think that would be a great, a great tool for onboarding. Because I don't want to onboard just somebody because they got a CryptoPunk or an ape. You want to know who's got good wallet history. So if we could repurpose that, not for only whitelist, but for pre-existing, for founders looking to onboard, people, I think that'd be a great tool for us.
Yeah, you could probably end up. I mean, hell, bro, you could probably vibe code something, just grabbing the OpenSea API and be like, find me the biggest diamond hands out of every ETH collection, every, whatever you wanted, ape chain. It wouldn't matter. Here's my esteemed co-host, Kale. He's fine. I guess he got his pump issue fixed. Kyle, are you with us? Are you locked
Hola,
in?
mi amigos. ¿Cómo estás?
What's up?
Dude, holy shit. I got water again now. That's pretty cool.
Nice. Well, good. I sent
my,
you the co-host invite.
Yeah, if anybody missed me, sorry. My well took a shit yesterday, and I don't even know how much that cost. I probably just lit $2,500 on fire, but oh well. I've done that in Web3 plenty of times.
Well, you'll be all right. Are you coming on stream with us, or what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm on my way. I literally just walked back in the house.
Quit jerking around over there. All right, cool.
Well, hold on now. I'll do what I want with it. No, I'm sorry.
Right, I know. Well, you already got the plumber out there because you broke one pipe. You don't need to.
Oh.
All right. Anyways, Simple Farmer. What? Where else? Where were we at? All right. So we were at the deploy side. Where do you want to move on to from here? Because I know you said you wanted to backtrack to something with Solana.
Yeah, I mean, we can go to the roadmap if you don't mind.
Yeah. Let me go back to that. All right, let me share a tab. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we got right past, we're at the 3D art upgrade. We're going to have Anvil applicable to base collections as well. Because I think I've noticed like a lot of things, like there was like a Unipeg came out, Unicore, things like this. They came out and they built, which are cool 404 concepts using Uniswap V4 pools, but they've found various forms of like contract issues, right? And so they were failed. So I think just having this available for people to use that are super clean, audited, ready to go contracts. I'm a Hashlog certified auditor, so making sure that everything is super safe for everyone coming through. So that's going to be coming to base, and we'll have our first base collection deployed shortly after. That is in the very, very, very near term future, like in the next 48 to 72 hours.
Oh wow!
After, yeah.
No, I was going to say base has got to be a pretty big move because there's a lot of users on base and a lot of, that could be really, really big, for clutch markets. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think on base, especially that that maybe one of the issues that NFTs have had in scaling there is that majority of people are trading tokens. And so then you get that difference in exposure. After that, the other thing that's happening this week is actually the K9 token is launching on Solana. And so this is going to be another experiment that I'm going to use, K9 the Pixel Pups as the guinea pig for, where we give a token cross-chain functionality. So an additional LP will be deployed on Solana. I do have to take, my own liquidity to LP for that, which is just like a part of the process here.
Hey, Jesus, aren't you part Italian?
I am. Why?
Oh, because you're kind of a guinea pig yourself in that way, ain't you? Oh, sorry. All right.
God almighty.
I'm late. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead, Simple Farmer. You got to let this guy get it out.
I didn't know there was Italian racist jokes. That's the first one I've ever heard, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
really? Don't get him
started.
started, bro. Jeez. All right, go ahead.
Got knocked out of the World Cup actually by my home country, Bosnia. So,
man.
But so we're deploying on Solana with the K9 token. There's going to be an additional LP there, right? And so usually you have this instance where people will just bridge between the two sides and they'll just arbitrage. And sometimes it's not super beneficial for tokens. But with this, we're using an escrow and release model. So we're going to get clean market caps on each side. And also we're going to control the bridge. And that bridge is also going to have a fee attached to it. So we're going to be the toll keepers, right? The smart contract will essentially. That toll, essentially the fee required to bridge between the two chains, is going to be redirected to people staking the K9 token. So at that point, we're going to be weaponizing the arbitrage between the two LPs of the token. Now, this has existed before on like ETH, Mainnet, and Arbitrum One. There's a protocol called Peapods Finance. And this process is called volatility farming because it farms the volatility and the difference between the LP prices. And people do arbitrage all the time anyways. But when we control the bridge, we're making sure that a percentage of that arbitrage is being assessed and redirected to people staking the token.
Wow. So, all right. So now that's the third utility as far as fees go, because you have the original swap fees that get distributed back to holders. Then you're going to have base. Then you're going to have Solana. So all these fees, while the fees on an individual trade are very small, it's not massive amounts of money. But when you have, hopefully thousands of people doing this on multiple chains, now you have all this money. It's just coming in from every chain possible. Or that you have a bridge set up too. So that's on top of that, plus the new markets that are coming. So there's actually 4 like sinks there for the K9 token. So that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, and at any point, we take a 0.5% protocol fee on every swap between the token and the NFT, right? So at any point, we can flip a switch and if we start sending those K9 tokens instead of to our treasury wallet, to the Burn wallet, what we do effectively is make the collection deflationary.
How much is being burned like right now, though? Is there any being burned on any, or does it all go back to the staking pool?
2% on a swap goes to the staking pool, and a 0.5% goes to the treasury.
Goes to the treasury, and then does the treasury burn that, or they just hold it?
I'm just holding them for now, and I'm using them.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to use them for LP on Solana actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, and especially if you start bringing in more chains. Because right now the only bridges that are active is just ETH right now, right?
Right. It's just on ETH right now, and we have the Anvil functionality. So the K9 token is just going to be ETH and Solana to start, because I believe that X trading, like trading on tokens via X, I think that's going to happen via Solana first, and I would like exposure to that. I think that's a dope, really good feature for tokens to have, especially because that's where we do all of our marketing, right? The other big thing is we did so the whitelist wizard cheeses was kind of like a marketing play too. It's like, look at these things we can do. Buy a little bit of our token. Our holder count for our token did like a 4x that day because of all these people trying it. The other thing we did was something called the First Contact Project. And I actually got an API from an astrophysicist who linked the radio telescope to send images and text-based messages to outer space. And so then I plugged in that API to Crypto Rails, and I let people pay in K9 token to send their NFT or text-based messages to outer space. And they could also track how far it went. Now, that's very gimmicky. That's a fun thing. It's cool, right? You can immortalize an NFT image forever in outer space. But I think that's going to do exceedingly well on Solana. So that's something that when I deploy the K9 token on Solana, I'm going to drop that as well, because I think it's one of those potential viral moments.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I was, I'm part of a project that was supposed to send an NFT to space, and we were supposed to be the first mint, I think, in space or something like that. I don't know. It's really, really wild. That'd be really cool if you could actually get a whole collection minted in space. That'd be really fucking dope. But it doesn't matter if it's gimmicky. It's still fun, and it makes and it brings attention. You know what I mean? So it's cool.
Even if they were whatever, an NFT collection of space explorers, and then all of those NFT images are also sent to space, and you can track when it gets Alpha Centauri or the next star system, in a couple of years. I think that's a dope narrative to attach to your collection.
Yeah. No, I think it's really cool. Yeah, I like that. So you said the base is going to be announced in 48 hours?
Yes. Yeah. Very soon.
And then how far out until we get to the Solana bridge? What is your time frame on that one? Same thing?
This week as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Shit. Okay. Well, it's a busy week for you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real big. And and the World Cup's coming up, so you have predictions going there. Bro, there's a lot of stuff going into this roadmap. And I would imagine I would imagine there's going to be more added. There's the opportunity for that. Q3 doesn't have a lot there, and then Q4 is obviously left as a mystery. But you need these other things to succeed, and launch and be ahead of time from there. So can you kind of go back into more of the markets themselves? I wanted to kind of cover more of that and being able to do these parlays and stuff. Where can
For
I
sure.
see some information on that?
For sure. And you'll see that this is something that we had live and we've taken down, as we're improving the platform and the speed of the bets being graded, for example. But that's going to come through, as you can see, like towards the end of Q2, leaning into Q3. It's right there. It's called DPP, Decentralized Parlay Platform. And so those are the smart contracts I built that use this decentralized house model to pay out bets and allow people to make Polymarket parlays. We got a Polymarket grant from that. We got an Arbiter One grant. Like, people thought it was a really cool development, but I need to think about how to scale that properly. And so then we also want to look at legal structure. So I partnered with somebody who's actually an attorney so that we could get it as like an iOS app one day and get fully legal structure in that way too.
Yeah, because I can't remember the term. The U.S. government has to classify you as, I think it starts with a T. I can't remember. Because I remember
CTFCC, something like that.
Yeah. I remember doing this research when I was doing a lot of stuff with Myriad and the legal things that even Polymarket had to go through to get their app and to be US, compliant. And somehow Kalshi had the leg up on all this. But like, how in depth is that? Like, what do people not realize? How hard it is to bring a prediction market to market? Like, it's pretty intense, right?
Yeah, I mean, so with these speculation-based platforms, obviously you can just go Wild West and do whatever you want. But I'm doxxed, right? I have a family, so I don't want to play games at this point. And also, the project is not going to do well. I'm unable to continue working because of some type of.
Nobody's going to trust you. It's like, well, he's operating without, and if you can go to the app store and actually download your app, like it's pretty good.
Different. Yeah. And so Kalshi actually was one of the first to figure out the legal structure needed. So they spent, I think like $1 million on legal fees to try to get the different paths set. But now, since they found the path for prediction markets to have this legality, they've set the precedent, right? And so then everybody can just mirror their application process, making it significantly less painful. It's closer to like the range of just 6 figures now to get that through.
Oh, okay. So what is the time frame for an app? Like, how long does that take? Like, how long does it take for you to pass all the legal guidelines and get where you want to be?
We're talking Apple Store?
Yeah, like Apple Store. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, they do some serious vetting.
Well, it's not even that. It's well, time, money, and more money, and then getting basically the sign off from the U.S. government that says, yeah, you can do it. Because we see these other markets that are popping up. You have Pumpcade, and you have the ones on BNB, and they're on every chain now. So prediction markets aren't. I think what you're building definitely separates you from the pack because of the different utilities you have. Like, so, but that also makes it even more complicated, right?
Yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of process in how you make everything playable, viewable, and usable for users when they're looking at this whole suite. But then there's like DeFi protocols that we can do a lot of things that a prediction market does without ever actually touching some of these, red flag points. So if you don't mind, I'd love to explain the Pup Cup, which is something that's happening for the World Cup and the structure behind that.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So we're currently having like a collection worked on that is like a trading card. There's like dogs on it, of course. And those dogs all carry jerseys or wearing jerseys corresponding to their national team. So there's like the United States, Canada, all the teams that have qualified for the World Cup. And there's like 2,000 NFTs in the collection. That collection is going to mint in the K9 token. So remember, we're always trying to push value back to the Pixel Pups and K9. When users mint that, they'll open their pack and they'll have their team, right? So they'll have like a goalkeeper, a defender, a midfielder, and a striker. And they might have a goalie from Brazil, defender from the United States, midfielder from Canada, and striker from, I don't know, Argentina. Then they'll go into the Pup Cup platform and they'll be able to stake their playing cards in their position. Now, remember, these playing cards are NFTs. So, say they stake the striker as the Argentina dog, right? If Argentina scores a goal on the opposing team, they'll get a huge influx of rewards, of those Canine token rewards derived from the mint itself. Then the game keeps going on. All these games are played. Goalkeepers get points when their team gets no goals scored on them, like a clean sheet. Midfielders get goals when they get an assist, stuff like that. And then the whole part of the game itself is that the winning national team, so the cards corresponding to the winning national team, get 50% of the pot, 50% of the total mint raised for the collection. So say, for example, Brazil and Argentina get to the finals. Those NFT cards for Brazil and Argentina will trade at a massive premium because they have, a 50% probability of getting this huge portion of this pot from the mint itself. And so that's something we're super excited to put out too.
Yeah, that's bro. Like, I get so jealous of like people that play soccer. Like, we say soccer. People get pissed when, yeah, but it's like, because like the game is fun. I've watched it. I don't know shit about it. So it's like me being an American who watches real football. How would you entice me to come over here and play this or mint this?
I'll say this as a guy that doesn't care about sports at all. I watched the last World Cup with my wife. Way more entertaining than American football, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, how do you attract me? And like, is there going to be like an educational tool that kind of like, I don't know, I guess to kind of ease people through and be like, yeah, this is like this. Is there going to be like a rating score? Like, are you going that in depth with like the NFTs, and will the rarities have their stats? Like, are you going that crazy?
No, so it's more based on being like a fantasy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a hybrid of a fantasy sports platform, NFTs, right? Because all the cards are NFTs, and prediction markets. Because by purchasing the NFTs, especially on secondary, you're kind of participating in almost like a poly market prediction market, because you're kind of betting that national team might win. Right. So it's supposed to entice users who like to do prediction market kind of stuff. And then, if you're not a huge soccer fan, of course, this is like a way to have a great game companion, right? You're going to watch the US versus whoever they meet up against in the World Cup. You stake your US defender, right? And so you see the US hasn't got any goals for them in the whole game. I think it gets slightly more exciting in that way. And I think you're going to be really immersed in. You're going to be, maybe you were in '94. The United States had the World Cup as well. And I think this one, it's going to take the country by storm, because I think the US is the best possible place to host the World Cup, actually.
Yeah, well, and especially when you got a president like Donald Trump, this guy's going to make it the most glorious World Cup ever, to be played.
We're going to have the World Cup on the White House lawn. It's going to be the greatest World Cup.
Well, yeah. The stadium infrastructure too, Jesus, is the stadium infrastructure that's set up for NFL teams is superior in terms of size and audience.
Yeah.
Compared to anything in Europe, mostly, besides like the major teams. And so that's it's gonna be a great experience. I'm going to one of the matches
I think they're doing it at SoFi, right?
Yeah, there's games at SoFi.
Yeah. Our other normal co-host that's here with us, he's gonna be going there as well. Let's go to a few hands because they may have questions around this. And then we will get back at it. Johnny, what's up, GM?
GM, Simple Farmer. You're Bosnian?
Yes, I am.
Same, brate.
Aren't Bosnians like particularly scary as a country? That's what I hear.
No scarier than Serbians.
Okay.
Or like Dagestanians. Dagestanians are scarier than Bosnians, I would say.
Well, we've all learned through the UFC to fear the Dagestani beard for sure.
Are you living in St. Louis?
No, I live in Cyprus.
Okay.
Cool. Very cool.
Cool. Yeah,
that was your question,
it's a real cool concept. I just heard Bosnian, and I wanted to come up to greet my brate from Bosnia. Which part are your parents from Bosnia?
They're from Brčko district.
Where are you actually from, Johnny? Because you take credit for being from Sweden, from being German. This is the first time I've heard about you being Bosnian, dude.
You're a real idiot, bro. I think you know me for 4 years and you still don't know that I live in Switzerland.
No, I know you live in Switzerland, but where are you from? What are you ethnically?
Yeah, I'm ethnically from Bosnia.
I see. I didn't know that.
We had a civil war in the early 90s, so we have a massive like diaspora, which is just like refugees spread everywhere in the world.
Okay.
So I was raised in the United States. I was born, in '94 during the war, but we came into the U.S. as refugees in 2001.
Wow.
I was born in Austria, and there my Arnold accent comes from.
Jesus.
See, this is what I mean. This guy, he's Swiss. He's from Austria. Now he's Bosnian.
And then I thought this whole time he was from Germany.
Bro,
CNN's going to start talking about the Ukrainian war again. He's going to be Ukrainian next week, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, bro, that's like 500 kilometers in between. It's like going from New York to Washington. That are 20 countries in Europe.
All right. Well, let's get back on track here, Johnny. Jed, you have
Johnny,
a question
by the way,
on this?
furiously waving his hand in the audience to come up here and ask where you're from.
We're close because I think people who have had like struggles in their early countries' lives and stuff, they end up being very close when they're in foreign countries,
Yeah, well, I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, so I know all about the struggle. Anyway.
And his name is pronounced Johnny.
Yeah,
Johnny.
it's just Johnny. Yeah. But we've been calling him Johnny for so long that it just stuck now. So yeah, he's told us that a million times, but yeah, when you're not here, we call him many other things too. So, but it's all good. We'll stick to D Johnny, or no, somebody who calls him DJ Yanni.
I've been calling him DJ Yanni.
Yeah, I know. So, Jed, you have a question, sir?
I got a quick comment and a question. One is I'll definitely agree with I think Kyle, that's your co-host. I don't watch shit of soccer, but I watch every World Cup, and I think a lot of people, at least in New York, still it goes crazy. So I do think it's going to be a hype World Cup. And then the question for farmers: is this one of those activations, or that you would be willing to allow another collection to use if they're wrong?
Yeah, so this is one of the more difficult ones to do that with, specifically because all of the value for the gameplay itself has to come through the mint. But will try my best. I can't guarantee it, but I'll try to set up an additional secondary marketplace for these cards where those cards can be purchased using the other various Anvil tokens.
How many NFTs are going to be in this collection?
It's 2,208
for the World Cup one.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, could you also just do now this is I'm like, it seems like Jed is, he's a founder and he wants to get his community involved. There's not a lot of NFTs, but like, is that not something to like open it up to other communities to mint their own as well during that? You know what I mean? So like Regenerates could do this, but it's in lieu of Clutch Markets. And
I think, yeah,
that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. One of the issues is the time constraints. Sorry, the World Cup starts in like a month.
Yeah.
So it's a bit tight in that, right? We gotta get MVP out, and then I gotta start audit within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
but even if you just hand picked a few, and then a little bit of those fees that went back into K9 and back to the stakeholders, and providing more utility there, and then who knows, maybe it could be something you can integrate in other events down the line. That's
what I'm more bullish on. Jesus is like, I could see this. Maybe this was a time constraint issue, but the next one he does it, I'll bet any money that there's going to be an opportunity for, say, Regens or on an Anvil for us to mint a collection in our native token, and then be in some kind of whatever it is, fantasy football or whatever.
Yeah, it could be basketball championships, World Series. I mean, you could tie this around to a lot of different events. It'd be really, really dope.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And the mint, but for this to start, the mint itself, priority access is going to be given to the communities from the NFT collections that have deployed to the Anvil. So definitely, working on that hive mind swarm mentality.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So never mind. That was a dumb question I was about to ask you. I had to literally sit here and think this out, but I'm not going to ask that question. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to bring it up.
Damn, dude.
No.
I almost got to make fun of cheese.
You almost did, but no, I had to stop myself. And I thought about it so long that it just created an awkward moment. And now I don't even know where to go because that was a pretty dumbass question. The first one was I'm not even gonna go there. Anyways, all right, let's continue. Simple Farmer. What is this next thing? Then Gachapon? What is that?
Yeah. So this is pretty new development. And so actually, over the weekend, I reached an agreement with Collector Crypt, which is, the trading card Pokemon Gachapon.
I
the
thought that was
one of
their
Solana.
logo right there below it.
Yeah. And so we're going to be their EVM provider and distributor. So we're going to be hosting the Gachapon for Collector Crypt on ETH mainnet, and a portion of that revenue from that protocol itself is going to be funneled into supporting the Canine collection. As you know, those Pokemon Gachapons are absolute killers when it comes to revenue.
Yeah, bro. I mean, even Collector Crypt, the card token, all that's doing like extremely well right now. Not as good as All Time High, but that's a pretty big, massive partnership there.
Yeah, super excited. And we'll have an additional layer, which won't be at the first time it goes live, but will eventually allow for leveraged Gachapon. And at that point, you'll be able to, instead of paying $200 for a pack, you'll be able to pay $20 for a 10% chance at winning a $200 pack.
Oh wow! The thing that is good with me is that, and I didn't know that you guys got a grant through Polymarket, which I'm sure they're not just handing out grants to everybody. So that, to me, that kind of validates the Clutch Markets platform in a way, because there's a lot of different brands out here that are just aggregating data from Polymarket, but they're not actually like in conversations with the teams. They're not getting grants. They're not actually building things, I think, in a more trustworthy way. So to see that back in by Polymarket, because obviously they gave you a grant for a reason, and it's to me that's pretty solid. Adds a lot there. Especially, a lot of big partnerships though as well. So like the utility here goes way beyond just the token itself, just by receiving Kanon, because then you're also, if this is your first partnership with Collector Crypt, I would imagine that's going to keep the door open for other future partnerships and activations, and holders of Pixel Pups could get first access to a lot of these things, especially if this one goes really well, which I would imagine it is. I've seen a lot of post people calling for the top of TCGs and in trading cardboard. Who knows if that's really true or not, but what is your thought there? You think we're at the top for that market?
Maybe a short-term top, but long-term, I think and I bought a couple of these 2 months ago. Those really OG Pokemon card, the trading card game packs. I remember being a 7-year-old and getting one, and it was life-changing when you would get that pack and be able to open it. I can imagine, so I'm 31 now. I can imagine my generation when we're 50 or 60 paying probably upwards of 10 to 20K to get that experience of opening or having some of those cards. So no, I don't think it's near the top, because the generation that are the greatest collectors aren't really in the boomer classification yet, where they get to their most wealthy point.
That's a good point. And as much as I've heard the top of maybe Pokemon, I always hear people talking about people a couple months ago were talking about rotating into One Piece, and now I've seen people even talking about Gundam, because there's a live action Gundam series coming soon, which will bring back all that nostalgia. I think trading card stuff just kind of, I don't know. I'm sure the whole market goes up and down, but any given IP at any given moment is going to pop off, right?
Well, anyway. I think, yeah, and I agree. And, short term, it's who knows short term, right? But with the Gachapon, I think what would be really cool, and so this is going to be something that I'm going to look at, is how can we have our Gachapon not only have the TCGs, like the trading cards, but also bring NFTs into that themselves. So the Gachapon that is, $100 pack, and you could win a Pokemon card, or you could win a Pudgy Penguin, right? And stuff like that. I think that would be a pretty exciting additional feature, because at the end of the day, those cards are NFTs. So it's not too difficult to plug in other NFTs into that process.
Absolutely. What's up, Chad?
No, I got to jump off, but I don't know. I don't know you too well, Kyle, but I know you've been here forever, man. And I don't know. I hate glazing this dude, but the amount of shit he's built in such a short period of time, if founders aren't at least looking at this protocol, and at least looking at some of the shit he's built, I don't think you're doing your due diligence personally. And like I said, this isn't like this shouldn't be your roadmap, but if you're not at least thinking about like jumping in here, I don't know, man, because just the way he thinks and the forward thinking he has is just somebody I want to kind of be aligned with. I'll just say that.
Thank you, Jed.
Appreciate you coming up, Jed. Yeah, it's 12:17, bro. You got to get the restaurant open. Got to get going. Got to get all that. Got to get everything ready, prepped for tonight. Juice, did you have a question, sir? You came up stage. You put your hand up. You unmuted. What are you doing?
I actually just wanted to shout you out for your forward thinking, Cheese.
What was my forward thinking?
Just being here all the time, being here for us and giving us value and sending us plays, having beautiful people like Simple Farmer on your stage for us.
Yeah, bro, I was glad to have him up here. Like I said,
hold on now. What is Juice up to here?
I don't know what he's up to, but I'm taking it.
I don't know what this guy's doing, dude.
I'll take it all. I'll take it all. But like hearing the conversations on Cap Space, though, I had wanted to do it. And then when I had told Kyle about it, I said, yeah, Simple Farmer's wanting to come on. He's like, fuck yeah, get him on. So I'm actually looking at these guys right now. I mean,
yeah, I haven't really got a chance to talk to Simple Farmer before, but I was when I was like more active on Ape Chain, I had some of your Ape Chain collection at one point. I'm not as active on Ape Chain as I once was, but you've definitely made waves on several blockchains already. So
did you know, Kyle, that if you would have held those NFTs, you could have got the Pixel Pups?
Yeah, dude, I tried to kill myself already, but then I woke up. I was like, damn it, dude. I guess I'm not going to go through that twice. So
I don't know how many, like what was the allocation there?
Yeah, so I mean, they actually would have been allocated 2, and if they would have stuck around and had enough, they would have had up to 4.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Maybe I will take another swing at it.
But so the collection has traded a good bit, and I'm very pleased with the way it's gone. In terms of a Freemint, exceptionally pleased, and just going to continue to layer on. I'm actually appreciative that we're around that, what is that, 0.1 range. I think it's still accessible for some people, but with the collection size, especially when we get to things like the Pup Cup, right? If a lot of people want to participate in that, they have to buy the K9 token to participate. Theoretically, right, that should push this collection floor a lot higher.
Yeah, I'm looking at the floor right now. The artwork is pretty dope, because before it was just it was a cartoon picture, right?
Yeah, they were pixel arts, and like I said, it was my guinea pig experiment, and I'm like, okay, well, people love this experiment, so let's overhaul it. I brought in a Blender artist who's never done any crypto work before, clean traits, built the full collection, and yeah, I'm super happy with the art reveal. I actually enjoyed the process. I'm a DeFi guy, so I had never actually done layering myself, and so this was my first attempt at that, and it took me the longest it's taken me to do anything. Like I built an options protocol faster than this, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I was looking through on the actual collection. Now I can't remember where I was at on the website now. It showed, where in the hell is it? It showed the collection, but I was able to filter through traits. Maybe I was inside of Pixel Pups. Is that where I was at? What was I at?
Yeah, so you could get into the collection through OpenSea, or you could buy enough K9 token and actually adopt one using that swap feature.
Yeah. Now there was somewhere where I was seeing all the traits, and it was like Arab, and it was somewhere on the website I was able to see this, and I can't remember where.
If you go to Pixel Pups and you press adopt snipe.
Yep.
To the right there.
Oh fuck! What am I looking at?
You see adopt, scroll up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here now.
To the right. to the right of swap.
Oh, I see it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
and
is
so-
where it was. Yeah. All right. There it is. Husky, King Corso. Yeah, so you can see all the different ones kind of, get an eye there. That's pretty cool. Do you have any with cheese on its head?
Cheese, no. I have burgers, and the burgers have cheese.
Ah,
Pretty close.
pretty close. Yeah. Yeah. Let me go see if I can
The-
see if there's one.
The
with it.
important thing about this cheese is that so this Anvil protocol and all the contracts are 100% on chain. So we're not using any type of backend infrastructure to actually make this work. And so that's great because that means that the collections that's deployed to Anvil, like they can use their market page, but they can also put it on their own front end on their website. And we're not building a moat, right, around this. We're not having them forced to use our website to make their whole product line functional. Since it's all on chain and all works through on chain functions, they can use their own website. They're not dependent on Clutch in any way.
Yeah, I do like that. I figured these ones with the night background would be a higher floor price, like the solar background or whatever the
That's a
background.
cool looking trait.
It is. Yeah, and I seen those in the look at this fucking dog here with the fucking all green in the suit. It's like a green Trump. I do like that. Yeah, some of the
Broccoli
traits are really
Trump.
dope. Yeah, broccoli Trump. Yeah, there you go. All right, Simple Farmer, what have we not covered, bro?
Maybe if we could just go through a little bit of those future launches after, the Pup Cup and stuff. So, we'll have that companion collection come in. And then after that, the biggest things are the Civilizations protocol, which is another super experimental thing. It's going to drop on base, and people who hold Pixel Pups are going to have allocations for the tokens there. And so the experience is going to be as follows. You're essentially going to go and you'll see a world map, and you'll pick between 5 cities. And so, for example, there'll be like Tokyo, New York, Los Angeles, Hong Kong, and Dubai, right? And so you'll select that city, and when you select that city, just like your starter Pokemon, you'll get an allocation of tokens so you can start building in that city. And those tokens are regular ERC20 tokens that trade on base. Then you have those, and you can start with your funds buying land, building a hotel, build a house. The fancier stuff is more expensive, costs more tokens. Now you can also buy more tokens and build more things. These are regular tokens, so people can also trade them through like Aerodrome and Uniswap, but they can also trade them on the map. Then every 72 hours, there's going to be a natural disaster or like an earthquake type event that shakes the map, and it's going to damage 4 out of the 5 cities. On the back end, that LP from those 4 cities is going to get pulled partially and pushed into the surviving city to pump the surviving city's token value and therefore the property value in that surviving city up. And on the map, you'll see people essentially fleeing the damaged cities into the surviving city. Then the property value there goes way higher. And then essentially people can, sell their property at a much higher price because that token has increased in price. And then that process is going to cycle every 48 to 72 hours. So it's a gamified token trading experience that's actually governed by a VRNG.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, the whole even just you hear and you talk about it and people fleeing and I mean it's kind of strategic, I guess, as well. And we're looking at, you said late Q3 on that, or Q3, just mid Q3?
Yeah, early Q3, I would say. And with that, it's it's important. There's 2 things. It's like we want to experiment. We want to put up products. We never know when something's going to go crazy. I don't have market makers. TMA is a KOL that I connected with just because I was talking to him. It wasn't like strategic or planned. I got lucky that he liked the Pixel Pups and stuff. But we're very organic, which you're not going to really see a lot in crypto. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But what we're saying is with Pixel Pups is you're going to have a lot of bites at the apple to a lot of protocols that are going to happen on a lot of different chains that have the potential to obviously, potentially go, through the stratosphere in terms of volume and price. And so this is one of those that's very experimental, and I think it's going to be a super fun game to play.
Yeah, bro, you have a shit ton of fun activations. Like, I mean, you see teams put out roadmaps like this, and 90% of the stuff never even comes to fruition, or it gets pushed off, or, oh, sorry, this partner this partner that. I mean, this week alone, you have 2 bridges happening. When you're deploying Anvil on base, you're doing the Solana launch. You have the Pup Cup coming. Like, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff you have packed in this year. And that's not counting whatever else comes upon your way, because I would imagine with each success, now you're going to have other brands reaching out to you, and it's just going to keep going and going. Like, are you already at that point where you're having to tell people, hey, sorry, we can't do that right now, and it's just I'm too stacked up?
Yeah. Well, so we also like previously did independent development. So we would develop protocols for teams and stuff and, take paid contracts that way. We can't do that anymore. We don't have the time. We're allocated well past the summer now for that. And then in terms of development for Clutch stuff, we're the laboratory for on-chain markets. I'm doing this for fun. I actually have fun sitting down, building something from scratch, making a plan, developing it, deploying it, seeing the success. And so the Anvil was like very much one of these things that has just really taken a strong hold and probably has done even better than I expected initially. And so when I see that, then I start dropping in improvements to the experience, layering in, value propositions and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely. A lot can happen, but so far this is what we have going. And you're right. It's a lot in a relatively short period of time. So probably my biggest challenge is how do I communicate this? And fortunately, I'm forming a really strong community so far.
Yeah. No, and that's the biggest thing is having that locked in community. You have people that are wanting to help push the brand and help do things. And I'm gonna tell you from someone who was in ecosystems very early on, all the way up till where they are now. Like, find those fucking people in your community and do everything you can to hold on to them, because they're your biggest advocates of the brand. When you're busy, you need somebody out there. We talked about this yesterday in Loki's NFT space. So I applaud you for building that community. You gotta stay in touch with them at this point.
Of course. And the nice thing is like with the Anvil, with the staking, the way it's set up, when there's volume on the collection and the token, the community benefits financially. And, a lot of our processes and a lot of our protocols featuring things like a decentralized house, the people who are staking are incentivized to market the platform because they're eating every time somebody goes and plays these games. So the structure is very much about like that decentralized marketing approach.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. There's not many protocols out there that, so say that K9 gets up to, I don't know, 100 mil market cap, like that volume, the higher that volume drives, the higher the APR is running up with it.
Yeah, exactly. And so at that point, the Pixel Pup NFT itself will be a highly exclusive NFT just due to those financial benefits that it's offering.
That's crazy, bro. Like, and I'm seeing the WETH offers at like 0.98 or something. And I was like, what the hell? People are actually, and the holder count is actually not wild. Like I'm going through the holder count. I was expecting to see a lot of people holding 20, 30, 40 of these things, and they're not. Like, you only have a very few holders that have above 10. And what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 holders that have 10 or more. The rest of it's all, it's 5 or less. Most people on average have 1 NFT, which is really good.
Our unique holder count is actually a little higher, Jesus, because the majority are staked.
Yeah. It's not a giant collection, and you had a distribution method through your previous collection going into it, right? So,
yeah, I think we did a really good job with the early allocation and bringing a free mint. And the way it's run up, it's offered plenty of opportunity for those who wanted to just speculate to exit. And I think now we're getting down to the nitty gritty of the people who want to participate in our future development.
Yeah, I like them, bro. Kyle, I'm tempted to just buy one right now, but I don't know, bro. I got to find one.
Join the pack.
I got to find one that I got to find one that I vibe with. I kind of like this guy right here with the turban.
Hold on, I got to come back to the stream. I'm shopping as well.
I kind of like that guy with the turban. He's pretty dope. But
I remember a certain picture of you with it.
I know. So it's just bringing me back to my roots. So I'm just, but yeah, the artworks. Every time I see this one right here, I think of Easy. I don't know why, but I think of his Bodago PFP when I see this one. So it's like I don't know if that was a meant to be trait, but I think it's just the shirt and the white dog is all it is. So yeah, Man, some really, really good stuff. Simple Farmer. I don't know if I have any other questions. I mean, we've covered so much in pretty much everything on this roadmap. And I mean, at this point, the people that are listening, I hope you guys have listened to everything. If you haven't, make sure you go back and listen through. I think we started talking about 11:15, and a lot of good information here.
Oh, I like this. There's a mutant breed that's really cool looking.
What do you mean a mutant breed?
Oh, there's an Ash Ketchum too. Holy shit. You're ranked number 5 at 0.89 Ash Ketchum style dog here.
The logo is mutants. That's a mutant.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and I'd love to have you guys in the community, especially you guys help smaller developers like myself get the word out about what they're building, and that's huge for us. That's a major difference maker in a space that's otherwise difficult, to gain audience and voice unless you have certain connections. The things you guys are doing is huge. So I want to say I appreciate you guys. And while I'm building, I'm going to be trying to the best of my ability to stream through my Discord. And so if anybody wants to learn about how to build or provide tips or help with the cooking, essentially for some of the features of some of these D apps as they come out, I invite people to do that who are part of the community too.
See, that's awesome. There's a handful of actual teams out there that are really trying hard to make education available to their community in various different ways, and I think that's really cool. I mean, it's great to be part of the collector culture and everything here. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm a little too busy to learn a lot of the stuff I'd love to learn in this space, but I don't know, man. I think educating people, the more educated your community is, the better you all move together as a tribe anyway, so that's great.
Yeah, we've been experiencing a lot of that with Bearish and some recent activations going on there. And having founders that are willing to, even though you're working, you're still showing people and teaching people how to do things that could, further empower them. And now, how do the IP rights go with these? Do people have they can do whatever they want? Well, within reason, obviously, you don't want them starting an Only Dogs fucking app, I guess. But
yeah, absolutely.
Come on, man. We could sell a lot of peanut butter.
I know, but just saying, some brands, you just, the licensing is very minimal.
Yeah.
But these are really fun. So I didn't know what exactly holders could actually do with them with that IP and what kind of rights you give them.
Yeah, and it's good that we have this, what is it, an hour and a half now to deep dive in all this because there is so much going on. So like I said, I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, bro.
To come through.
Yeah, no sweat. And anytime there's updates, launches, things going on, feel free to definitely just reach back out to me, and we'd love to have you on. Some of these things I'm definitely excited about. The roadmap with the Pup Cup, I like the sports predicting side, but as I was telling Brad earlier, I got my bell rung on one wrong prediction, and it's it takes you out of it for a little bit. So now I got to kind of ease my way back in. But the way you're doing the Pup Cup seems like it's a pretty fun activation, and the NFTs. Now, if I own a Pixel Pup, do I get an allocation? Do I get at least one free mint on? Have you determined that?
Well, you get the stake and earn K9, and so that'll help you.
Okay.
In a big way, and you get a discounted mint.
Okay, but there is an early access mint for Pixel Pup holders, so it's not 100% free, but you do get access to a discounted early mint.
Yeah, and we need to accumulate that K9 isn't going to the team. We need that K9 to be accumulated to
for
fund
the prize
actual
pool.
game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for all the prizes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that's great. Yeah, I like it. Some really cool shit coming up, man. All right. Well, cool. Kyle, do you have any other questions for Simple Farmer?
No, I'm going to have to actually go back and listen to the whole thing from the beginning to make sure I got the full scope of everything. But this is a very interesting ecosystem. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't often go back and listen to our own spaces, but I'm going to do that as soon as we shut this down. I got to take my ass to work because I stayed home from work today for the plumbing thing. So I'll get to work and I'm going to be listening back to this whole space and wrapping my head around all of this.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really good listen for anybody that's needing some information. Simple Farmer, do you have any other last words? Anything you want to say to anyone? Is there a Discord? Where we didn't even cover that. Is there a Discord, Telegram? Where's the best
we
place
have Discord.
to go?
We have a Discord, we have Telegram, we have an X chat. On the Anvil website, you'll find the links to all that.
Okay. Yep. I see it all right up here. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay. Well, good.
Johnny, you got a question here?
Yeah, which chain should I look for the Pixel Pops?
They're on ETH mainnet.
They're on ETH mainnet. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So the whole project is on ETH.
Right. Currently.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, we talked about that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Johnny, sounds like you're gonna have to go back and listen back too, huh, buddy?
Exactly. Yeah.
The token is expanding to Solana. But Johnny, I did want to say Jesus. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Johnny, did you ever tell Jesus that he kind of looks like Jala Brat or Buba Corelli?
Who?
Yeah, a little. Some famous rappers from Bosnia.
Hold on. How do you spell this guy's name?
Yala. HLLR. Right.
Jesus is showing up tomorrow with gold chains on.
Bro, hold on. Hey. All I'm getting is Halle Berry. I got my chains right here, bro. We can put.
Oh my God! What fucking cereal box did you get that out of?
Hey, don't be stepping at me. Look, I even got my pinky ring. Don't make me smack you with it.
Whoa, dude!
Hold on. All I'm getting is
Calm down, pimp. Calm down.
All I'm getting is Halle Berry, Johnny. How do you spell this guy?
Jala.
Oh, J. Oh, hell, I thought he said H. Jala.
Space BRAT.
All right, hold on. What the hell? Oh, look at this guy. Hold on. Hold up a second. Let me share this. Is this him?
About to find out Cheese is 3% Serbian now.
Oh, yeah.
That's him?
Bosnian.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. See, look, he's right there. I can look.
Yeah, it's like Ozempic Jesus right there.
Nah. Look at this dude. Yeah, that's me.
Look at that beard, dude. You'd have to, holy shit, dude. You'd have to spray paint your beard black to get that color out.
I know. Hey, I can make this
a little
happen.
gray for all that.
Whatever, bro. I can make that happen. All right, cool. Well, if I had some music queued up for Jolly Brat, I'd fucking play it, but I don't. But now I know what's coming tomorrow. We're gonna be busting that one out. Yeah, either way, Simple Farmer, thank you for coming in. Guys, make sure you guys are following Simple Farmer. We appreciate you taking the time and joining us today. A lot of good information. If anybody has any questions, go back, listen to the space, watch the stream. We were trying to share as much of it on stream as possible as well. But yeah, we appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again real soon. Other than that, guys, we will be back tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern. Kyle, go to work, bro.
I might be on time tomorrow. Let's hope. Bye, everybody.
Everybody have a good day. Peace.
Thanks, guys.